So, France, obviously, almost drew the USA to overtime. They almost beat USA. And a lot of people are thinking, they're like, why is X, Y, and Z player not in the WNBA? Why are like certain players not able to play? And it's like, are the French team this good? I think in general, USA are probably 15 points better. I think USA wins this game 9 times out of 10. I don't necessarily think that this is a like absolute blowout most of the time, but I think it's a close game. I think it's very, very rare. And I made a video about this. Ban their team from playing the WNBA. And in fairness, the young 18-year-old, when she gets better, they can be better. But it's not necessarily that France banned their team from the WNBA. The WNBA banned France. None of these French players were allowed playing the WNBA. Actually, to be fair, Marine Johannes was banned from playing with France because she played in the WNBA not too long ago. So there is a really bad relationship between the WNBA and French basketball. And a big reason for that is what I've talked about before. It is the prioritization rules. There are literal rules in place so that if you are late to training camp, you cannot play in the WNBA. If you're late to training camp. So you're now seeing the likes of Gabby Williams. Like Gabby Williams, obviously, I think she does have... I don't think, as far as I'm aware, Gabby Williams is not a... she is naturalized, but I don't think she's a... Like... I don't think it's a situation where she has no link to France, as far as I'm aware. I think she does have some link when it comes to France. So, yeah, her mom is French. So, she was qualified. I think she's a naturalized player. I'm not entirely sure. But if you look at this right here for Gabby Williams, who was, in my opinion, one of the best players at the Olympics. Like, look, she's a free agent. I'm going to make a video on this. Indiana, go get her. She is what you need. She is the defensive wing that you need. Like, she instantly turns Indiana into the 4th best team in the WNBA. It's Gabby Williams. Like, I think Emma Mason's a better player, but for what specifically Indiana need, oh, it's Gabby Williams. To be fair, Emma Mason works as well. You're not getting either. They're not getting either, let's be real. But you see here, the decision to play in the Olympics was not without the cost. Many of the Olympic players, not just for the USA, but for several other teams playing in the WNBA, whose regular season typically runs through the summer months, to accommodate the Olympics to take a month-long break. Williams' commitments to the French national team interfered with her ability to show up at training camp for Chicago Sky. She thought she reached an understanding with the team. The team disagreed. They suspended her and traded her for the Sparks. She was a member for the Sparks now that the Olympics are over. Because she was suspended, she's ineligible to play. So basically, she missed a little bit of training camp. This is, again, before prioritization rules would have stopped her. She missed a bit of training camp. So the Chicago Sky traded her and then made sure as hell that she couldn't play for anybody else. They effectively banned her from playing for the season. I'm not joking. And a lot of people are like, oh, she needs to go back to Sky. The Sky effectively banned her from playing. And the worst part about it is that she would have been a crucial member on a Sky team that were contenders. They did win in the end. She would have been a crucial member. They traded her. They literally traded her. And then they made sure she wasn't allowed to play for the team she was traded to. And then she also plays in the French league. And if you play in the French league, their league ends in June. So if you play in the France league... Oh, no, sorry, she doesn't. She plays for Fenerbahce. Or did she play in the French league last year? Yeah, she did, sorry. Oh, she's just signed with Fenerbahce, which means she'll be allowed to play in the WNBA next season because the Turkish league doesn't clash. But she played for Lyon. And for a couple of years. So playing for Lyon meant that she wasn't able to play in the WNBA. The only reason she played in 2023 was because... Or 2022, was it? There was a year where she played because she was like... I think she got a concussion and missed the playoffs in France, so she was able to play. But this is a player that's a borderline all-star. I'm not going to say she is an all-star, but she's borderline. She's a borderline all-star in 4 years' time. Is still good. Like, she's only 27 years old. She's a couple of weeks older than me. So she's like one of the better wings in the world. Like, she is a wing, what I would say as what a Dejanay Carrington could be in 2 or 3 years. Like, that's what Gabby Williams basically is. She's a little bit better version of a Dejanay Carrington. She's probably a little bit better than a Denijah Lamey Hamilton because she does a bit more while being that elite defender. But the WNBA have just said, nah. They've just said nah. Like, if you look at the thing, at the roster, I think as far as more, like, from what I've read, they're actually allowed to come back. So, like, Maureen Johannes is coming back to the Liberty. She's not going to play for anyone other than the Liberty. But the way the rules are, like, look, the WNBA have missed out on Layla Lacan. Layla Lacan is 2.5 years younger than Caitlin Clark. She's 2 years younger than Reese. She would be, like, I genuinely think, especially if the Connecticut, like, she's not a starter at the WNBA level. She's a borderline starter. And she's a 6 or a 5'11", lengthy point guard 2 hybrid who plays defense, has athleticism, and can score a little bit. Like, she is a much better backup, for example, a backup point guard than an Erica Wheeler. She's much better than her. And she's going to the Connecticut Sun. But again, the reason why she, who was drafted by the Sun, was not allowed to play is because of prioritization rules. Like, if you look at this team right here, like, Maureen Johannes played for Lyon. So she was not allowed to play in the WNBA season this year. Did Maureen Johannes, I think she signed with somebody. I don't know who she's playing for right now. I don't think it's with Lyon. Like, she's only, surprised she's been allowed to go back because of prioritization rules. But she wasn't allowed to play because she's been with Lyon. You've got, I don't know who BLMA are. I'm guessing in France. Badienne Fenerbahce. She could, in fairness, she could play in the WNBA if she wanted to. Dominique Malonga is playing in France. She can't. Like, they're going to have to do something because she's in the 2025 WNBA draft and she's like the freaking female Wemby. Like, you're going to have to do something to allow her to play in the WNBA as soon as possible. She's 18 years old, 6'6", with a 7-foot plus wingspan, with athleticism. Is she the finished product yet? No, but could she be the best big in the WNBA, not named Aja Wilson soon? Yeah. You've got Rupert. Like, you've got all these players that were effectively are playing for teams due to prioritization rule are going to struggle to be able to play. Like, there are some players that, for this specific Olympics, the French national team didn't allow their players play. But there are a lot of players here that it was not the choice of the French national team. It was the WNBA would not let them play. And the prioritization rule is so stupid because it stops some of the best players in the world playing. It does. And, like, they need to do something. There needs to be some sort of a deal made. And, again, it is the reason with, like, it's the reason why you've got, say, like, geez, I'm just lost my train of thought. But, like, it's the reason why people are like, the WNBA is so far behind that some of these international players, and that's the funny thing is you got MMS on, you've got all these players that are like, they're focusing on the Olympics, but they are WNBA borderline all-star level, some of them all-star level players. And the rule needs to go. They need to do something. The money needs to be there. Like, there needs to be at least equal money in the WNBA as these playing overseas. Because they're just, a lot of international players are just choosing not to play in the WNBA. And that's a big problem with the league, is that, for example, Maureen Johannes obviously has been playing in the WNBA. But if you're looking at MMA Simon, she has played. She's been an all-star. She's been a finals MVP. But she's choosing to play for she's choosing to play for Europe. She's choosing to play for Fenerbahce. She's choosing to play for her national team. And I mean, I'm surprised they didn't win a medal. Fair play, Australia. I heard Ezi Magbor. I didn't watch the game. I heard Ezi Magbor was unbelievable. Yeah, Ezi Magbor 30. Like, that is absolutely exceptional. But yeah, it's a pity. It is a pity that these players are either their countries are banning them from playing the WNBA, or the WNBA are banning these players from playing themselves. Something's not right, because imagine if there were situations where like a Wemby. Like, that's the reason why when we're looking at these rookies, like, if these were playing in the WNBA, people care a bit more. People are looking at these players and suddenly they're not going to be able to see them in the WNBA purely because of a prioritization rule. They've got to change something. And not only that, there's got to be a way to allow, like, trust me, these clubs in Europe that pay more are not making more money. The reason why the teams are able to pay more in Europe is they've got rich owners that are just willing to pay them. The WNBA needs to do something to just allow the rich owners to pay. Because you can find 12 rich owners who will pay $5 million a year salary. Who will pay $5 million a year worth of salary for these teams. You can, without question, find 12 rich owners. I think you keep a salary cap, but you know what? Screw the profitability of the league. Screw like put the losses on the owners. There are 12 owners that will take that, because we've seen owners lose 200 million a year in the WNBA. We've seen owners of football, or in the NBA, we've seen owners of football teams that are willing to lose hundreds and hundreds of millions a year. Because what's going on right now is, like, yeah, the USA is the best talent. Yeah, the WNBA has most of the best players in the world. But there are a lot more. In the men's, you will never see a situation where a top 25 player in the world is not playing in the NBA. In the women's, I genuinely think MMA Simon and Gabby Williams are both top 25 players in the world. I think Gabby Williams in and around top 25, Messaman top 5. And they're not playing the league because effectively they've been banned, whether it be by their countries or whether it be by the league itself.